In a world that seems more divided than ever, what if there was a way to bring people together that didn't require compromising your values? Imagine a leadership approach so powerful it could unite teams, heal rifts in communities, and even bridge the gaps in our deeply divided nation. Today, we're diving into the transformative wisdom of John C. Maxwell's Bringing People Together, a book that just might hold the key to creating harmony in our increasingly polarized world. Welcome to CEO's Library, the 1% bookshelf, where we distill the most impactful insights from top business and personal development books into actionable strategies for executives, leaders, and aspiring entrepreneurs. I'm your host, and in this episode, we're exploring a leadership philosophy that could revolutionize the way you interact with others and lead your organization. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where, despite your best intentions, your words or actions seem to create more division than unity? Maybe it was a team meeting that devolved into finger-pointing, or a family discussion about politics that ended in hurt feelings. If you're nodding your head, you're not alone. In fact, these experiences are precisely why John Maxwell's insights are so crucial for our times. In Bringing People Together, Maxwell introduces us to the concept of high-road leadership, an approach that has the power to transform relationships, organizations, and even societies. But what exactly does it mean to take the high road, and how can we apply this principle in our daily lives and leadership roles? To answer these questions, let's start by exploring the three roads of leadership that Maxwell describes. Imagine, if you will, three parallel paths stretching out before you. The first is wide and easy to walk on. This is the low road. The second is a bit narrower but still comfortable, the middle road. And the third, it's the narrowest of all, often steep and challenging. This is the high road. The low road is where we find leaders who prioritize themselves above all else. They're the ones who use their position for personal gain, who see others as means to an end, rather than as valuable individuals in their own right. We've all encountered low-road leaders at some point in our lives. They're the bosses who take credit for their team's work, the politicians who make promises they never intend to keep, the influencers who manipulate their followers for profit. Moving up, we have the middle road. This is where many well-intentioned leaders find themselves. They genuinely want to do good and lead effectively, but they often fall short when faced with difficult decisions or challenging circumstances. Middle road leaders might avoid confrontation to keep the peace, even when addressing issues head-on would be more beneficial in the long run. They might make decisions based on popularity rather than principle, or struggle to maintain consistency in their words and actions. And then we have the high road, the path of true leadership excellence. High road leaders are those rare individuals who consistently put the needs of others before their own. They lead with integrity, empathy, and a deep sense of responsibility to those they serve. These are the leaders who inspire trust, foster unity, and bring out the best in others. But here's the thing, and this is crucial. Being a high-road leader doesn't mean being perfect. In fact, one of the key characteristics of high-road leadership is the ability to acknowledge one's own humanness. It's about recognizing that we all have flaws, that we're all capable of making mistakes, and that our worth as individuals isn't determined by our abilities or achievements. To illustrate this point, Maxwell shares a powerful analogy in his book. He says that each of us has both an eagle side and a hippopotamus side. The eagle represents our aspirations, our desire to soar to great heights and achieve remarkable things. It's the part of us that dreams big, sets ambitious goals, and strives for excellence. The hippopotamus, on the other hand, represents our more base instincts. It's the part of us that wants to wallow in the mud, that's prone to laziness, selfishness, or pettiness. It's the side that emerges when we're tired, stressed, or feeling threatened. High road leaders understand that they have both these aspects within them. They don't deny their hippopotamus side or pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, they acknowledge it, learn to recognize when it's trying to take over, and develop strategies to keep it in check. This self-awareness allows them to have greater empathy for others, recognizing that everyone else is also dealing with their own internal ego-hippo struggle. This brings us to one of the core principles of high road leadership, valuing all people, regardless of their differences or perceived importance. To illustrate this principle, Maxwell shares a powerful story from his own life. He recounts a dinner conversation he had with his father, a pastor and lifelong mentor to many. Maxwell asked his father, "Dad, you've been so successful in your work. What's your secret?" His father's response was simple yet profound. "John, I've lived by one principle throughout my career. I believe every person I meet is important." This statement had a profound impact on Maxwell, shaping his approach to leadership and human interaction. He realized that truly valuing others, not just those who could benefit him or those who shared his views, was the key to bringing people together. But what does it mean to value all people in practice? It starts with a fundamental shift in perspective. Instead of seeing people as means to an end, whether that end is closing a deal, winning an election, or advancing your career, you begin to see them as inherently valuable regardless of what they can do for you. This shift manifests in numerous ways. 1. Active listening. High road leaders listen to understand, not just to respond. They give others their full attention, seeking to grasp not just the words being said, but the emotions and motivations behind them. 2. Genuine interest. They show sincere curiosity about others' lives, experiences, and perspectives. This isn't about superficial small talk, but about truly seeking to know and understand the people around them. 3. Respect for differences. High road leaders don't just tolerate diversity, they celebrate it. They understand that different viewpoints and experiences can lead to better solutions and more robust organizations. 4. Empowerment. They look for ways to bring out the best in others, providing opportunities for growth and development. This might mean delegating important tasks, offering mentorship, or simply encouraging someone to share their ideas. 5. Recognition. They're quick to acknowledge others' contributions and successes, understanding that recognition is a powerful motivator and builder of self-worth. Implementing these practices can have a transformative effect on your leadership and your organization. When people feel truly valued, they're more engaged, more loyal, and more willing to go above and beyond in their work. They're also more likely to extend that same value and respect to others, creating a positive ripple effect throughout the organization and beyond. But let's be honest, consistently valuing all people isn't easy. It requires constant effort and self-reflection. There will be times when our hippopotamus side wants to judge, dismiss, or devalue others, especially those who are different from us or those we perceive as difficult or unimportant. This is where the power of acknowledging our own humanness comes into play. When we recognize that we too are flawed and fallible, it becomes easier to extend grace and understanding to others. It allows us to approach conflicts and disagreements with humility rather than defensiveness. Maxwell encapsulates this idea with a phrase that's both humorous and profound. We're all one step from stupid. This isn't meant to be demeaning, but rather a reminder of our shared humanity. We've all had moments where we've said or done things we regret, where we've acted out of anger, fear, or ignorance. Recognizing this truth about ourselves makes it easier to forgive and understand when others have their one step from stupid moments. This principle of acknowledging our humanness is particularly crucial in today's polarized climate. We often fall into the trap of demonizing those who disagree with us assuming the worst about their motives and character. But high-road leaders resist this temptation. They understand that most people, regardless of their beliefs or affiliations, are trying to do what they think is right based on their own experiences and understanding. By acknowledging our own imperfections and extending that understanding to others, we create space for dialogue, growth, and reconciliation. We move from an us versus them mentality to a recognition of our shared humanity and interconnectedness. So how can we put these principles into practice in our daily lives and leadership roles? Here are some actionable steps. 1. Start your day with a moment of self-reflection. Acknowledge both your strengths and your weaknesses. This simple practice can set the tone for more empathetic interactions throughout the day. 2. Before entering a potentially contentious meeting or conversation, remind yourself of a time when you made a mistake or held a view that you later changed. This can help you approach the situation with more openness and less judgment. 3. Make a conscious effort to learn about perspectives different from your own. This could involve reading books by authors with different backgrounds or viewpoints, attending diverse cultural events, or simply having conversations with people outside your usual social circle. 4. Practice active listening. In your next conversation, challenge yourself to listen more than you speak. Try to truly understand the other person's perspective before formulating your response. 5. Look for opportunities to acknowledge and appreciate others. This could be as simple as thanking a colleague for their hard work or recognizing a team member's innovative idea in a meeting. 6. When conflicts arise, try to separate the person from the problem. Remember that someone can have a viewpoint you strongly disagree with and still be a good person with good intentions. 7. Regularly ask for feedback from others and receive it with openness and gratitude. This demonstrates your own willingness to grow and improve, setting an example for others to do the same. Implementing these practices won't always be easy. There will be times when taking the high road feels challenging, when our instinct is to react with anger, defensiveness, or dismissiveness. But it's in these moments that high road leadership is most crucial and can have the greatest impact. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. We're all human, and we'll all have moments when we fall short. The key is to consistently strive for the high road, to pick ourselves up when we stumble, and to help others do the same. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought from John Maxwell. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. High road leadership is ultimately about caring enough to see the value in every person, caring enough to acknowledge our own flaws and extend grace to others, caring enough to consistently choose unity over division. In a world that often seems irreconcilably divided, this approach to leadership offers a path forward. It's not always the easiest path, but it's the one that has the power to truly bring people together, to heal rifts, and to create positive change in our organizations, communities, and beyond. So I challenge you, this week, choose one area where you can practice high road leadership. Maybe it's in a difficult workplace relationship, a family disagreement, or a community issue you're passionate about. Approach it with the principles we've discussed today, valuing all people, acknowledging your own humanness, and striving to unite rather than divide. Then pay attention to the impact it has, not just on the situation, but on you as a leader. Thank you for joining us on CEO's Library, the 1% Bookshelf. If you found value in today's episode, I encourage you to dive deeper into John C. Maxwell's Bringing People Together. The Amazon link to purchase a copy of the book or audiobook can be found in the episode description. It's a resource that I believe every leader should have in their toolkit. Remember, leadership isn't just about achieving results. It's about bringing out the best in ourselves and others. By choosing the high road, we have the power to create positive change that ripples far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. Until next time, keep striving for the high road and never underestimate your power to bring people together. This is CEO's Library, signing off.